We first got involved with them by word of mouth. We had somebody do an attic inspection for us, and it wasn't their scope of work to continue on, so they recommended Robinson. So we gave them a call. We had a different roofing company, and we brought them in and found that they were really responsive. They said what they were going to do, and they made some recommendations for us for annual maintenance, and they suggested we were trying to get a little bit more life out of the roof. It was supposed to be a 25-year roof, and it's not 25 years yet. So Dave made some recommendations about ongoing maintenance, and we started to do a twice-a-year maintenance where they would walk the roof, and they included, for the price, they included certain amount of repair, and then also would make recommendations if we needed something else done. When they first looked at the roof, they said, there were some shingles that were in really bad shape, and that if money wasn't an issue, that we should think about getting the roof done sooner than later. But then they provided an option for us for trying to extend to get as much out of the roof as we could. We said we'd like to try to take it to 2023 or even 2024 if we could. And so they tried to put scenarios together where we could repair and replace. But this year it came to the point where after the inspection, they basically said that we'd be throwing good money after, or bad money after good, whatever that expression is, right? So, that they recommended that we replace the roof this year. But again, they said that they could repair the sections. They just couldn't guarantee the other work around it. So I think, all the way along, they've given us options for repairing, but been pretty clear that, we're just patching things. Oh yeah, it was really very much appreciated because a roof is an expensive thing, and we've been going through some siding repairs. We have a plethora of woodpeckers in Deep Cove, and they've been doing a lot of siding damage for us. So, we've been spending some of our money that was slated for the roof on repairing the woodpecker damage on the siding. So any kind of reprieve that we got for a few years was a good thing. So, but then it became obvious that if we kept putting money into repairs, it was taking it out of the replacement budget. So yeah, it was really very much appreciated to sort of hold off for a few years. They were willing to work with us. When they did the first proposal, I was really pleased that they gave us the entire proposal. But when I asked, I said, okay, we're going for an extraordinary levy here, probably. So could you outline what is mandatory, what is optional, and what the best course would be? So Dave came back to me with this is what you need to do, this is what you could do, this is, if you do the second step, then you need to do the third step. So it gave us, a point where we could have stopped and said, no, we're not going to get, let's say we're not going to get the ridge vents done and the ridge cap, and we could have just stopped with the upgraded shingles. We didn't even have to do the upgraded shingles, so he gave us lots of options where we could have saved a bit of money. You wouldn't have got the same product in the end, but he left it up to us. And he also presented, let's say, option A, B, and C with the lowest, the shingle that would be provided for the lowest rate, a second option, and a third option. They arrived when they said they were going to. They started when they said they were going to, or maybe even we started a week earlier. They've been really good. I get emails or text messages occasionally if the crew is going to be here earlier, or if there's something else going on, or if they need cars. So communication is very, very good. I'd rate it like 10 out of 9. It's been good. I think what they've done is they've used me as a point person. We're self-managed, and I'm just one of the owners, and I happen to be on council this year. So for the most part, I think that Dave has sent me an email saying they're going to be here 1, 2, 3 days out. Could you ask people to move their cars, let them know what's going on? So most of the communication is funneled through me. But let's say in an example where somebody's going to be up on the roof or something, the guys that are working here are also quite willing to talk to the other owners to let them know what's going on. So communication ahead of time has always really come through Dave. They've been great. Part of it was the communication that we had ahead of time where I said, I need to know. So as soon as they identified something, it probably took a day to 2 days to get back a report with pictures of what was going on. So always backup and always options for taking care of whatever the damage was. we are all owners and we all live here. So I've heard back from at least 7 different units about what a great crew it is. And that's quite remarkable. Not everybody bothers to say that, right? And the other people I just haven't seen. So maybe they have positive, but I haven't seen them face to face. So that's at least 7 different owners that have given like verbal feedback about how great it is. The guys are polite. You don't hear, there's no radios blasting. If there has been any minor issue, and I mention it to Dave, it's not an issue like within 20 minutes, right? So, and those are minor issues, like maybe somebody smoking on site or whatever. It is like, it hasn't happened again. I like to deal with companies where I've built a bit of a relationship. I trusted them. I nearly didn't even ask for any other quotes, and then the rest of council did come back and say, oh, you have to do your due diligence. So I went out and got the other quotes, and they, we were trying to compare apples to apples, and everybody was close, but I think that we had a relationship with Robinson. Dave had already gone out of his way to outline everything and explain. We had spent hours talking about the roofing project, and everybody else was probably either going to give us a little less or, I didn't know them as well. So I think I picked them because I trusted them. Our strata started with Robinson several years ago. They came in to take over from somebody we weren't very happy with, and we really appreciated the maintenance that they were doing. They gave us at least what we were asking for and always identified other problems with easy solutions or more complicated solutions, but always gave us options. So when it was time for a full roof replacement, I really trusted going with them. And now we are on the full roof replacement, and it's going so far better than I would have anticipated. I'm really happy with the choice that we made.